President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with COVID-19.
President Biden has tested positive for COVID.
COVID-stricken President Biden appears to struggle as he slowly descends the steps of Air Force One, pausing at times to look around. He stiffly walks to a waiting SUV. He has to be helped inside.
In the few times that we've had eyes on President Biden in the last 24 hours, he appears to be very sick.
The president kissed supporters and shook hands with patrons. He also posed for selfies. NBC anchor Lester Holt interviewed Biden on Monday, and he sure must be thinking whether he should get tested.
This news comes just 2 days after I sat down to interview the president at the White House. He appeared okay at that time.
The walls are closing in on him.
There's a congressman who texted me yesterday and said, could we have one day without bad news this week?
Biden's COVID diagnosis could not have come at a worse time for the president as pressure mounts to drop out of the race.
President Biden could now reportedly drop out of the race as soon as this weekend as concerns grow over his electability.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi telling the president in a private conversation that the polling bears out that he cannot defeat former President Donald Trump.
I think that he's going to drop out now. That's my feeling. The COVID, in a way, is like a good way for him to get out because he needs this time to show how strong he is. And he's sick. And the time is very, very short now.
This is not going to end well if it continues to drag out.
Diagnosis comes as the president was forced to cancel his scheduled appearance at the Unidos Latino Advocacy Conference, with the group's CEO Janet Murguía announcing the news.
Thank you all so much for your patience and understanding. Regrettably, I was just on the phone with President Biden, and he shared his deep disappointment at not being able to join us this afternoon. The president has been at many events, as we all know, and he just tested positive for COVID. So, of course, we understand that he needs to take the precautions that have been recommended, and he did not obviously want to put anybody at risk. He said to tell my folks that we're not going to get rid of him that quickly. We're going to have a chance to hear from him in the future directly. He's just really sorry he couldn't be with us, and obviously we share that disappointment.
Biden is said to be experiencing mild symptoms, according to a statement from a White House physician. The president left Las Vegas on Air Force One, headed for Delaware, where he will self-isolate and continue to carry out his duties. Joe Biden looked as though he was struggling to walk up the stairs of the aircraft, ascending very slowly and holding onto the handrail. This attracted a raft of criticism on social media, with one commentator saying, "This is not slowed down." The president is being slammed online for failing to wear a mask despite the infectious diagnosis, with this commentator saying if Biden really has COVID, why isn't he wearing a mask? Watch this video from just now. In the presidential limo around Secret Service and military and aboard Air Force One, no mask despite having symptomatic COVID. Same guy who wanted even healthy kids to mask.
NATO's U.S. event in Nevada, and that was something that he had to postpone because he had COVID. These are live images of President Biden in Las Vegas. You saw him just sort of giving the thumbs up right there. So again, he has tested positive for COVID. They say he had a runny nose, that he was not feeling well early today. Oh, and he's going up those steps. It looked like he paused there just a moment, didn't it, on those bottom steps? There he is, making his way up to the steps, all the way into the plane. A bit of a shuffle there at the end.
And it's about making sure that, look, I mean, for example, look at the heat I'm getting because I named the Secretary of Defense, a black man. I named Ketanji Brown. I mean, because of the people I've named. It's about making it clear that American history is black history. Black history is American history, and it's being built by it. That's why we're strong.